All right, so with that, let's get to work on this. So what we've got here, we're going to have a distant sky and some clouds, maybe the sun coming up someplace. We've got some land out here, then water. This water is going to come, all around this way. These ladies are standing right on the edge of the water. And there'll be some water back here, a little bit behind them. And then we've got a young girl and a young woman. And then we've got this lady with a parasol and some flowers in her hand, standing on the edge of the beach. And then we'll just have this path kind of coming in. So I made an original sketch of this on a regular sketch pad. And then rather than grid it out this time, I tried to just sketch it myself. So I'm constantly trying to improve different parts of my art, and sketching is definitely one of them that I need to work on. So anyway, so here we are. So we're going to take, we've taken this pencil sketch and we put it on here, and we put a fix-it on top of that, Krylon spray on fix-it just to keep the pencil in place. And so hopefully as we go along, we'll be able to keep track of everything that we're working on. And if I don't, then you guys will never see this painting. And nobody's intellect is harmed, yours or mine. All right, so let's do this. So I have to start right off by getting paint all over my hands, because gosh, it would just be such a catastrophe if I didn't, probably. I don't really know what the color scheme here is going to be too much yet, but we're going to take our time. I'm not in a big hurry with this, so we're going to start off and put some liquid white on the top. So I'm kind of going to want to blend this sky from a dark blue, and then as I move toward the horizon, a lighter blue, and that will allow me to pick up the ocean color a little better than if it was just blue on blue. Now another option that you could do is have the sky be kind of grayish color, or maybe even yellow. Now going with yellow, you might run into some trouble, because once you bring it down closer to the blue water, you're going to have to deal with the yellow getting into the blue water, so you might end up with a little bit of green in your sky. Alright, so it has pulled a little bit of that pencil off. It's I wasn't quite expecting that, but that's okay. We can get by. I think we get by with that. Alright, so let's get some... Let's use some broad brush colors today, just for the heck of it. So let's start off with some phthalo blue. If I can get it out of the tube. I forgot last time that this was so thick. It's really getting old, so I'm having to kind of squish it out of this tube. Something terrible. All right. I'm not going to clean the brush. I'm just going to pick up this color. I'm just kind of using this X stroke here. Give me some movement in the sky. It doesn't matter too much. I don't care too much if I get it down on the land. I don't really want to get it on the water too much, but we can live with that. For right now, we'll just kind of paint it over her parasol. That doesn't, not too worried about that over there in the sky too much. On the land, I mean, because we put trees and stuff in there. Realizing, of course, that, you're going to get, the larger your trees, the more close, you're going to pull that. And I want that to kind of be way off in the distance, because I think as I go, I'm going to put like, I don't know for sure, but I think I'm going to try to put some really tiny sailboats out there. So we'll see how that goes. All right. You're going to see me switching back and forth hands a lot today because I have a torn rotator cuff, and it'll get tired before I get done. And if it does, we'll stop the video, and then I'll just splice it together later. I will say I do miss the interaction of when I used to do the YouTube lives, but I mean Facebook lives, because I can't get quite as many shares going out when I've got YouTube going. So, you know, it is what it is. Facebook made that decision, not me. So, all right, let me look at that for a second. I think it'll be all right. Let's get let's put some clouds up in the sky, and I think we'll kind of do some. Since we're kind of talking about doing some Bob Ross colors today, we'll just kind of stick to that palette somewhat. We'll see. I hadn't really thought about the colors when I was working on the sketch, because in the sketch you don't really have to make that decision. All right, time to make some big decisions here. Where we're going to put the clouds. So let's start off with a few clouds down here low, off in the distance. Of course, now these clouds that are up higher are going to be closer, simply because they're farther up in the sky. You can't be far up in the sky and be far away. All right, we need a little more paint. A little more paint right here. All right, I think that'll be enough. All right, so let's clean that fan brush. It needs to be cleaned a little better than that. All right, so now I think I'm going to paint the landscape, this first area of landscape, like right in here. I'm going to paint this over here first, and then I can worry about putting the water in. We'll start working on the water, but let's fluff up these clouds first, though. I want these clouds to kind of fade into the sky somewhat. I'm not getting ready to storm, it's just a few clouds. Just a few clouds. All right, I'm kind of happy with that. I think I'll leave that like it is for now. We can always come back and add some more if we want to. But let's see what else we're going to put in the landscape. Now, even though I don't do it much on the video, you might want to get back away from your... Why do I keep ending up with a little bit of paint on my brush? That's making me mad. All right. Even though I'm sitting down throughout this whole thing, you guys might want to consider, you know, after you do each little part, just kind of back up from your painting and take a look at it. And because standing back away from it will give you a completely different perspective than sitting on top of it all the time. Or another thing that you can do is just take a picture of it with your camera and then look at the picture on the camera, because oddly enough, it'll give you a different look. All right, so now we're going to mix up a little bit of something here. Let's, for this landscape way out there in the distance. Now it's pretty far away, so we don't want a lot of really bright color popping up off of the canvas. So we're going to take some sap green and some burnt umber, just a little bit, and maybe some yellow ochre, I think would be a good addition to that. I'm just going to mix up a little bit of a custom color before I put anything out there on the horizon. So let's do this with a filbert, because I love filberts, and that one needs to be reconditioned. Let's grab another one. Oh yeah, that one's fine. All right, so we're going to start off with the yellow ochre, and then we're going to add a little bit of green to that, a little bit of burnt umber. Not too, that's too dark. All right, let's add some white to that. This is kind of off in the distance. Maybe a little bit more of that, a little more of that. Here we go. All right, let's just kind of... All right, that's a nice good mid-tone, I think. I think that'll work okay. I'm going to add more stuff to this in a second. Okay, now on this part right now, we're kind of painting on dry canvas, because we, if you remember correctly, we only kind of blended up the sky. So we're just going to kind of scrub this in here to get our tones, and then we'll probably come back and add some more liquid white to the ocean, because I'm going to want to blend that a lot, quite a bit probably. All right, there we go. Now let's add some highlight to this. So we're kind of adding the dark, as we're adding this highlight, we're kind of adding just another layer of island, or whatever that is out there. All right. Okay. That'll be good for now. Let's get some liquid white. And we'll start scrubbing. This is just liquid white. I'm scrubbing it in right along that line. But I'm trying not to smear it all over everything. I can see where some of this charcoal is smearing though, so I don't know why. I guess I've never had that problem before, but we'll figure that out as we go. We'll figure out how to fix it. Charcoal itself we're not too worried about because we'll blend it into the paint, but I guess I don't think I'm too worried about it. I guess we'll find out when we get to start working on it, won't we? Okay. The colors there are pretty light, so man, this stuff is not spreading across this gesso hardly at all. That time I put a little bit of healthy dose there, just to kind of get some more on the canvas. I'll kind of move it around. To me, it's kind of paramount that I press on painting the next few days, especially since I hurt my arm. It's just doing a YouTube live the other day, and I actually had to stop because my arm was hurting so bad. And because of that, the painting kind of flopped because it's set up pretty heavily and it was a mess. But all right. Let's take it from there. Okay. Ultramarine blue is a little too blue for what I want to use. So let me look at my stash down here. I think I have a stash of a different color. I like it. Yeah. So this is a Gamblin paint. It's a pretty color. It's called Phthalo Turquoise. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna try a little bit of that and see how that looks. So let's see. So this is pretty much why I've always avoided putting figures in my paintings, is because I don't want to get halos around them. And this is not underpainted. I probably could have underpainted this and it would have looked a lot better, but we'll find out. You know what? You know what I might do? I might paint this and then try to do another version of it that's underpainted. See if we can see the difference. So I'm just going to paint over these figures for right now. And then we'll come back and do some more with it a little bit. Well, this part here probably shouldn't have been done that way, but we're not done with the water there. We're just kind of taking a breath. Okay, now. I want to break down that halo. There's a halo over here too. All right. Now, rather than let that sit, I'm going to clean that up first, and then we'll move back out and do some of the landscape right out there farther. And maybe go ahead and put the sailboats in. This is really a mystery to me about this. Maybe I forgot to put that on. I don't know. So I'll tell you what I'm going to try. It's coming off okay, but it's not as clear as I want it to be. So I'm just going to take a little bit of medium on this and try it with that. So this Q-tip, the second Q-tip, is doing a little extra work because it's I'm putting the medium on, but then I'm wiping it back off. But extra Q-tip is making sure that it doesn't run down the canvas. So it's not only is it picking up the last of the paint, it's here we go. That's working better. Now I'm using a really lean medium, so it should dry relatively quick. So let's wipe some of this off first. And then we can pick up the rest. Almost put it in the wrong medium. That would have been funny. Well, not real funny, but it had been a little bit funny. So if you're wondering why I went from that one back over to this one, I'm just kind of moving back and forth. Mostly, I'm letting my arm rest a little bit and then moving back and forth. Okay. All right, young lady. So this smallest little girl is probably going to be the hardest to do of all of these. So this technique, this wiping on, wiping off, is the same technique you'll see me use when I'm underpainting. I've never used it in overpainting before, but felt like it should work, so, and actually I guess it sort of did, so. All right. Okie dokie. That's pretty good. All right, let's deal with some trees and stuff and put some sailboats out there. So before I do that, though, I think I want to take a filbert and just straighten this horizon a little bit. You know, the horizon doesn't have to be perfect. I don't really want it to try to be perfect, but I do want it to be a little straighter. All right. Okie dokie. So we're not done with the water though, but we're letting it set for a little while. And we're going to work on some trees and things like that. So let's use a fan brush. Let's use a little fan brush. Do some sap green. Now let's put some water lines in. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put a tree or two in there. I think we'll just put nothing too fancy here because they're way off in the distance. So let's just kind of. Some sap green. That'll do. All right. We'll put the water lines and some of the waves in next, and then we'll put some start adding some waves and stuff. So. We'll just put all these waves in. We'll just do all this with a knife. We could have done it with a brush, but we didn't. So this one's a little too crooked. Let's smoothing it out. There we go. All right. Now I want to work on the people next because I need to get them situated before I'll just wipe this knife off. I want to get them situated before I try to bring the beach in the rest of the way. So looking for you guys. Hopefully it's going good. Hopefully you're liking it. All right. So let's make some custom colors. Let's see if I can make a custom color with this, what I've got on my palette here for this turquoise. It's such a powerful color. It's just so powerful. All right. No, let's not. I don't know if that's gonna. All right, so I just kind of laid this shape of this dress in with this dark. Then we'll come back and work on it some more. All right. So let's wipe that out and let's just use some white. We're going to blend all this in just a minute. Before we start putting our hair and stuff in. You can see I'm using a relatively small brush, so we're covering little bits of areas at a time, which is fine, except it leaves a lot of brush strokes, so we'll have to blend it. Okay. All right, let's blend that and see if we want to. That's how we want it to be. Let's put so I have a spot I paint right over it, but it's bugging the crap out of me right now, so I'm just gonna. It's right here. I don't like that. Right there. Okay, that's better. All right. Let's come along okay, I think. All right, let's put some hair on this young lady. So let's get. I think I'll use that flat to do that. I think I'll use this flat. All right. I'm going to have to tilt this a little. Oh, no. medium in the brush. All right, hopefully we can fix it. There we go. So I'm going to turn this upside down so I can deal with this. I don't know why I think I know enough about a lady's parasol to be painting it, but hopefully this will come out okay. Oh, it's because it's so much longer. Why is it moving every time I move? Because I'm not used to this large a canvas. It's a whisper of a touch here. All right. Okay, let's get with our other girls. Did I make any notes about that? No. All right. Well, then it'll just be what it's going to be. Throw this rag away. Let's figure this out. Oh my lord! Look at my hands. How do I have colors that I'm not even using on my hands? But I do. Do you see any red on there? But no, there's red on here. I don't know how I even did that. But it's all over my hand. All right. We'll come back and add some more highlights to this lady's umbrella or parasol, or not a parasol, parasol in a little bit. But let's work on this now. So I'm going to clean the brush. And narrow it way down. And I would like these young ladies just to be wearing white. So let's get some white on the canvas, and then we'll work it up from there. I'm going to clean the edge of my brush off. I'm going to bring it to a really, really sharp point this time. And put some highlights on this hat. So the charcoal left a haze right here, so we're going to have to take that off. We'll come back and fix it in a little while. So let's continue with this little curl, and then we'll come back and add some mid-tones to some of this. There we go. All right, so now we want to add some shadows to this, but we don't want to be too rambunctious. Let's try this and some of this. So we're adding phthalo blue and burnt umber and some titanium white to make a kind of a neutral gray. And we'll pull that over, add some more titanium white to that, and make a really, really light gray. So you can see, well, you can't really see because the brush is so small, but you can see that this is a very, very, very light gray. All right, so we're just going to try this out and see if this will create what I'm looking to do. Oh, that's too much paint. All right. That might work. I'm going to pick up this darker gray. And honestly, I think I'd like my girl to be a little skinnier than that. So let's push her dress in like that. All right. Now let's pull it back out. Oh. All right, now between here and here, I want to have water, but I want it to be coming up onto the beach. So I want it to be really light colored. So we're going to pick up that turquoise. Not with this brush, it's too tiny. We're going to come back and work on these people some more in a second. I need to let that relax in my brain for a second. Maybe. Well, let's just kind of. We can always let this sit overnight if we want to, and then come back and add to that. It might even be better to do that. We'll see. All right, so anyway, we want to bring the ocean up. So let's get a flat and just turquoise and some white. And maybe a little bit more than that, I think. All right. All right. I'm not feeling comfortable with that, so we're going to go back and work on it some more in a minute. Matter of fact, let's just do it right now. That white is okay, but I don't like the way that it casts up against the ocean very well, so we're going to add some more color to it. I think we'll let that sit now for just a second. I need a little bit more something on her hat, on the young girl's hat. So let's add some shadow first. There we go. There we go. And then some this plain white. Okay. All right. I'll start putting some waves in now. We'll do that with a knife, just like we did before. If I've got enough titanium white left on here. And we don't, so we just have to put some more on. Okay. All right. Clean up that knife. I'll start doing something different. Start working on this beach a little bit. So let's see. Let's use a 1-inch brush because we got a lot of ground to cover here. So let's get some. Let's just use some more of this yellow ochre. And some regular yellow. And see what we get here. This is going to be challenging. All right. Let's shake this side a little bit. All right. Yeah, it's coming out okay. All right, let's clean this brush. Now I'm going to need some bright red and some alizarin crimson. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, some alizarin crimson. Here it is. Okay, dokie. Let's see what we can do with this here. So I want this girl, this one, to have some flowers. She also needs some highlight on her hair. So we'll do that in a minute. But let's just get, that's too big. Let's get a small filbert. And let's just tap in these flowers. And I'm going to add some white to that because it's a little too much white. Like that. All right, let's get some highlights going for this young lady now. For her dress and her hair. Let's see if we can put this highlight in with this filbert. All right, so I'm gonna do this path and then some of the branches, and then I'm gonna back up like I told you guys you should do. I'm gonna back up and take a look at this and see how I feel about it. So let me first get that done. So let's use some, let's use a 1-inch brush. Here's a good one. And let's put in some I want some greenery. I want some greenery on the beach, but not a lot. Well, some. I don't know. We'll see. Let's put some dark in here first, though. Excuse me. My allergies are still kicking in. Even indoors, tree pollen. We had a pollen alert. Like every day it's sunny here, we have a pollen alert. It sucks. Okay. Let's put the path in. Just to be. Why not? All right, so you know what I'm saying? Just cause. So we'll probably have to erase part of some of what we put in here, but that's okay. So we're going to start with sienna. We don't want to make this path too something, too anything actually. Just kind of insinuating it into the landscape here. That looks good enough. All right, let's try to put the sailboats. And then we'll back up and see if there's anything else we want to do. So let's get this round brush. Yeah. I think before I do that, I'm gonna I've never drawn a sailboat before, so let's just kind of. All right, yeah, I think I get it. I think I understand. But I have to turn this upside down to do it. Or maybe not. Maybe I can use my. Maybe I can use my stick. I think that'll do. All right. Let's take a look. All right, I'll tell you what. A couple things I might like to do. Let's see if we can do them. All right, so let's take, for this young lady over here, come on now. Let's do the same for this girl, this little girl. All right. Maybe we could do the same for this lady right here. Maybe. Let's clean the brush. We got to paint with some medium on this, but let's take some of this brown color, I guess. And let's put a band around this lady's hat. And there's this little girl too. That'll set their hats off better. All right, let's back up and look some more. I think these shadows right here could be deeper. Like that. Oh, that was way deep. All right. Let's blend it out some, that's all. All right. I think I would like let's do a little bit of a homage to Bob Ross kind of a thing. Leave a lot of these, just a couple. kind of a thing. And let's add a little bit of highlight to that. And then let's just push up a little bit of grass here and there. Like I say, we're not trying to push up too much stuff at one time, but all right, last thing we're going to do, we're going to put down some highlight on this grass just to make it pop a little bit more. And then we're going to add some like stalky things. So let's do that. Let's add the highlight first. We'll just do that with a little landscape brush and a little bit of liquid white. All right, let's just throw up some things, you know, some squirrely looking little things on the beach. Great. Nothing like dropping your brushes on the floor. How did it manage to even get to the floor? Oh well, for another time. So we're just going to kind of throw some things in here. Just little grasses and things. So get some medium on the brush. A little sienna. Put as much of this in as you want, or as little as you want. All right. I think with that, we'll call it quits. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you watched this far, you're much kinder than 99.9% of the people on YouTube. So I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one next time.